Welcome to episode 2 of My Road to Glory. We are here on campus at Vanderbilt, and right now I'm just getting acclimated to my surroundings. The first thing I notice here as I'm on this screen is that I'm QB3. Now, when I was getting recruited by Vanderbilt, it said I was going to be QB2, so I'm kind of shocked that it says I'm QB3. And I'm not near QB2 and QB1 on the ratings chart. My ratings are way lower than theirs, and I realize that I have a long ways to go to catch them. And this can only be done in practices and in games. And in practices, you only get a max of 300 coach trust per practice, and that's only if you get gold on the drill you do in practice. Which in my gameplay early on, I was not getting gold. I was either getting bronze and silvers, which were 50 for bronze and 100 for silver. Here we are, game 1, ready to run out with the team. You see I'm at the front of the line, which is odd because I'm not QB1, I'm not even QB2, I'm QB3. So this whole video is going to be my first full season here at Vanderbilt. Every game I'm not even playing in, I'm just watching the game go by. So this video is just a rundown of all the cutscenes I experienced in the first season and all the game simulations that I had. As we get underway with game 1, I want to point out that the coach at the beginning of the video, Tim Beck, he was the coach from Coastal Carolina that recruited me. So it's odd to see him on Vanderbilt now. I guess he became our offensive coordinator instead of coaching at Coastal Carolina. Now, it is a little bit frustrating to not get to play in year 1 here at Vandy. I ended up getting redshirted this year, so it doesn't technically count against me, but still frustrating because I was wanting to come to a program that was ranked last year, and coming into this year, I thought would be a good opportunity. I knew I wasn't QB1, I was going to be QB2, but still at the same time, I thought I could play well and practice, do whatever I needed to do to get to that QB1 spot, maybe by the end of year 1, but that's just not the case. I didn't even get close to QB2, and so it leaves an interesting decision on year 2 at the program to see if I stick it out past next year or if I enter the transfer portal and try to go somewhere where I can play and give at least a couple years of solid work to a program. Then potentially, my senior year, I could transfer back to a bigger school depending on, if I transfer from Vandy to a smaller school. We'll just see how next year goes. If I get playing time next year, if I'm up on the depth chart at the end of this year, hopefully I am. That way I can stay here at Vandy because this is where I wanted to go, but we'll see. Now we get this win at home versus NC State, which we go to 3-0 to start the season, but this is all before SEC play. And as you'll see later in the video, SEC play, it quickly takes us and dissipates our top ranking. Game number 4 is the game of the week. We are hosting the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs, but look at our overall. We're a 67, they're a 94 overall. We're 17th in the nation, though. I really don't understand how we're that bad, but yet we're the 17th team in the nation. But we're hosting the Bulldogs tonight, looking to get an early win in the season, a confidence win in the season. Again, this is not a game I'm going to play in, but y'all will see how this game goes. We're under the lights at home, ready to kick this one off. And look at the start we get. We go up 7-0 quick on the Bulldogs. Now it's 14-0 over the Bulldogs. They get a touchdown right at the end of the second half to make it 14-7, and then the second half is all them. We do nothing in this second half. They dominate, they torment us, and we get our first loss of the season to the Bulldogs. Now we have another homecoming decision to make here in college, and unlike high school, I'm going to decline this. I don't want any more videos of me getting out doing silly things at homecoming, so I'm going to decline, and I'm not even relevant on this team right now, so nobody will miss me if I don't go. And before we go to our next game, you see I have fan favorite activated. This is for having over a 3.2 GPA. Game number 5 underway here again at home facing Florida this week, and this is another gauntlet of a game, back-to-back weeks facing Georgia, a top 10 team, now Florida, and you see they're just killing us at home again. We lose 31-17, back-to-back losses, but it's pretty okay just for the fact that both these teams are way better than we are. We keep it moving now with Game 6 of the season. We're going on the road versus the Arkansas Razorbacks. After this game, we'll be halfway done with the season, 6 out of 12 games completed. And again, I'm still thinking about whether I want to stay here at Vandy. I'm no closer to being to the QB2 spot and being a key player for the program for multiple years. So we will have to see how the season ends here and how the off-season looks for my future. And you see, we're going to be beat by Arkansas on the road and drop to 3-3. So we've now dropped 3 straight games to the opening of SEC play. This midweek cutscene is from my favorite coach, Tim Beck, and he's asking me some technical questions. Now, I mentioned in episode 1 of this series, I'm not a football guy, I'm not a football gamer, and I'm really not a football guy. I'll watch and I'll enjoy it from there, but what he's asking here, I have no idea what to say. All I'm doing is guessing, and my guesses are hitting. I'm getting all these right, and I look like a genius. I was laughing when I was recording this, the gameplay, because I was like, there's no way I'm going to get these questions right. And I end up getting them right, which is hilarious. But anyways, I'm going to get a little boost in my coach trust and a little pat on the back from coach. But that won't do, again, anything to help me get to the QB2 spot. So I'm still in the same boat, whether I got all those questions right or not. Here's a quick update on my weekly agenda tabs. Pretty much all I've been doing for the first part of the season has been updating my academics and leadership tabs. You'll see that's why the academics one is pretty high and then the leadership one is pretty decent right now. I did update my brand, but really that's pointless at this point, and I think I updated my XP once or twice, but overall stick with the academics and the leadership, bumping those up, making sure I'm high in those. Quickly, just going to show you where the QB2 is at 11,000, and I'm all the way back at 800, so I'm well beyond the QB2 spot. Now on to the second half of the season, and we're going to get a win, our first SEC win here against Mississippi State at home. We're going to win 30-10 in this one, improving to 4-3 on the season, which means we're only a couple wins away from being bowl eligible, and that's kind of going to be the highlight for us, I think, is getting to a bowl game and potentially winning that bowl game. Now we got Memphis at home. And this is a game that we're going to end up going on to win 28-20. Really came out strong and kept the lead throughout to end up winning this game, moving to 5-3 as we look to go on the road next week against Ole Miss. This game is ready to get underway against Ole Miss tonight, and this is another game that we end up playing pretty decently, but not well enough to get the win. We're going to fall 10-7 to Ole Miss. It's a close game throughout, just not enough to get the job done against Ole Miss, and it's another SEC loss. On the road tonight in Game 10 versus the Aggies. This is a big game for us because if we don't win, I don't like our chances against Oklahoma next week and Tennessee the week after, and we just need one more win to be bowl eligible, so tonight's huge. We were down 14-0 in this game, and yes, we come back to win 27-23, getting our 6th win of the season, which means the team can just really start preparing for that bowl game because these last 2 games don't matter, and like I said, I don't think we'll have a chance against them. Here we are on the road against Oklahoma. They are a ranked team, so we will see if we can be the underdog tonight and shock them on the road. And surprisingly, we actually should have probably had them. I think they score a late touchdown to end up winning this game, 23-20, but it was a pretty good game, and that's been the disappointing part. Even though I've been on the sidelines, I'm not actually competing in these games, but Vandy's been decent this year. We've had a couple blowouts, but other than that, we've held a couple teams really close, teams we should have gotten blown out by. We've beaten the teams we need to beat, and then like I said, tonight you play a tough game against Oklahoma, and then next week against Tennessee. So if the team has a good recruiting class this offseason and I'm in the picture next year, I'm feeling pretty confident that Vandy could be a contending and underdog team in the SEC next year with some top teams like Florida and Georgia and even Oklahoma and Texas. Last game of the year is ready to go here against Tennessee. We're at home to finish the year, and much like the last game, it's a close one. We had Tennessee at the very end, but they ended up scoring late to take this game 20-17. So we ended up being 6-6 on the year and 2-6 in SEC play. So we really struggled in the SEC, but that's not surprising. Maybe somewhat surprising because at the beginning of the year, like I said, we were ranked. But when you looked at the overall to us and the other teams, we were not as good. It is bowl time. We were invited to the Gasparilla Bowl, and we were playing Sam Houston State. And in that previous clip, you saw the Heisman winner was the kid out of Colorado, which was Shedeur Sanders' replacement. Well, it's the battle of the 6-6s. It's the battle of the mid, and despite struggling throughout the year, we take care of Sam Houston State big time in this one. It was a blowout, and we get a bowl win to end my first season here at Vandy. Now we have to decide about the offseason. So here we are, decision time. I'm going to look at the quarterback room and where I kind of sit and both the quarterback 1 and 2 are 74 overalls. I'm a 64 overall. And still, coach trust, I'm way behind these guys. So the clear decision would be to transfer, but I'm not going to make that decision. I'm going to stick it out for another year. Like I said, I redshirted this year, so technically next year will be my true freshman year. And I'm going to make the decision to stay and see how next year goes, if I can do better in practices, if I can get the coach trust a little closer to be a part of this team.